Hiya girls, we are Barney and Luki and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
Let me present to you the gerbil up my rectum. It's Barney.
Hello. And tonight, for your consideration, we have human proof that for some people, it doesn't get better. It's Luki. How are you doing today, Luki?
I'm all right. Fresh from watching season 13, ready to forget all of that.
You've been
and
double
talk
daving,
about,
haven't you?
I know, it's a bit much.
But this is straight after the shocking departure of Astina. How'd you feel?
Weirdly, not that bad.
Absolutely fine, actually.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Ginny entering back into the workroom a la Janet Jackson with just the one breast out? Did you notice that?
Icons only.
Did you notice that?
I did not, no.
Icons supporting icons.
I look into
as
women's
usual.
eyes.
Wow. My first note is Ahura. She will write on her tombstone Baroness Basic if she has her way, won't she?
But Tia obviously doesn't give a shit because she
Nah.
feels like she can do anything now, fresh off that win.
Well, she said, I'm a performer.
Make of that what you will, Steve Mandela.
Insert rattlesnake here.
Very interesting, this beef between Ginny and Lawrence, which I thought was just a bit of flirty
banter.
But it seems like there is actually some real irritants there.
Ginny was pressed. She was hot.
But remember in episode 1 when she was like, you're jealous of Astina, you're scared of her because she's pure talent. So we know that Ginny is an Astina stan, so she's already going to be coming into this feeling a little bit
Oh, for sure. Genie?
Genie in a bottle.
I dream of Ginny as clearly good friends with Astina because she's really been riding hard for her since day one.
Yeah.
So, but love, absolutely.
So it's a new day in the workroom.
Yes, indeed. So then they're all round the table, and were you surprised at Madame Taste? I felt like she was very diplomatic, but the thing that absolutely killed me is, did you see that Tia's hands were on Taste's shoulders? And then just straight away she took them off. She was like, oh, fuck, I'm going down. That absolutely cracked me up. But I felt like Taste kind of gave it to Tia, no?
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one, especially since Tia was there giving her, it's just a lovely bit of moral support on the shoulders there. And it's Astina had more to give, and just like.
And I love that Tia was like, actually, Michelle called me basic once, and then he was like, no. Actually, everyone in this room agrees that you're basic, you're average. Just like reeled off this list about like, actually, no, everyone thinks you're garbage. I
thought it was quite a good thing that Veronica said when she was like, you think she looks basic, but you need to look a little deeper. And it's like, I mean, fair fucks, that is true.
She ain't gonna fuck you. Calm down. Like, she literally, like, Veronica going so hard for her. I was like, I personally feel like that whole, like, oh, Tace is too cool for school. She's clearly bothered because she knows that Tace is A, beautiful, and also that she's, like, contemporary. And Veronica is really just serving you, like, cruise ship drag.
For sure.
And I feel like that, I thought that was really transparent, that bit. I do completely understand it's not all about the look, but don't tear another queen down to make a point. That's what I thought. She didn't really tear down a queen at all. I just don't really like her.
I thought it was funny when Ahura, like, even trying to be nice, like, no, you've really improved. Like, even that just still comes off as, like,
so
100%
condescending.
Cunt.
yeah. Absolutely love that. She's sort of like, no, honestly, babe, like, you have really improved. I was glad that Tia was like, I don't care if she thinks I've improved. Because, I really wrote that as well.
So this week, the mini challenge is the Great British Fake Off. My first thought was like, oh, fuck, I need to get all of those cakes in me right now.
Yeah,
my mouth was drooling. I hadn't had my dinner yet. But I don't really understand either I didn't understand the challenge or they didn't understand the challenge.
I don't think anyone understood the challenge. I don't think there was much of a challenge within this challenge.
No, I thought it was meant to be a kind of sell it in a sexy Nigella way. Like, only Bimini was the only one who kind of put on like a sort of a voice for cakes.
That was very sensual. I really didn't think that many of them were very good at this, which is what made it so fantastic. I just thought, actually, it's so much better. There's something about the British Drag Race. It's so much better when they're just kind of a bit shit at it. Like, with all the acting challenges and stuff, it makes it so much more entertaining.
It would just be helpful, though, for the gals if when like
they were in quick drag,
or just like when given the challenge that someone had actually like written it properly or thought of it for more than a second. There, I'll get into more of that about me production gripes.
Oh yeah, I did hear first. I just thought it was like really not very funny at all, which was cracking me up.
Well, yeah, the only one that made me kind of a half smile was the Brexit with Bimini.
You didn't laugh with Lawrence?
No.
I
don't think I ever have.
I thought he was very funny and he was really cracking the whole room up. I thought he was I thought he was going to win. I really liked Ellie Diamond, basically just like, it was like she was a malfunctioning robot. She was just like, very sexy. Just like saying all these like weird like catchphrases that she thought might work that weren't really stringed well
like
together.
Drag Tourette's.
Yeah, it was all very strange taglines, but I was very into it.
Will you be calling your chocolate starfish a bumhole bic bic from now on?
I'm going to have to ask your dad about that one. Veronica serving you the first openly boring Drag Race contestant. She really don't give a fuck. She's not even trying to be interesting at this point. Really, just I just thought it was so weird, but not like in a, oh my God, like a blue hydrangea, like this girl is clearly unwell, weird. Like, it was just like so weird, but so boring.
This is like V manic, with any sort of.
She was trying to do like
behind
alliteration and stuff. It was like, I'm going to need to put you on ice for a second because this ain't it.
Sidebar, I'd like to mention as well that the kind of fondness I felt for her from my first initial reminiscence of Miss Cracker has now gone away. Now she is
quickly dissipated.
Yeah, I think by episode 1. So just want you to know I'm not feeling biased towards her. No, not crushing.
And Bimini, as always, giving you a moral, a message, a fable. Always just something to say. Very, she seems like a very smart queen.
Just of the moment.
Very, very contemporary. And I'm glad she won because I did think that Lawrence was funny, but Bimini's was smart.
To me, I just thought like everyone else was
dog shit.
Yeah, and Bimini was like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, it was very Tia winning over Estina. It was like, I guess someone's got to win. Yeah. And then for the main challenge, we had the morning daytime chat show, which I really love whenever they do, because it's just absolutely deranged. They always try and stuff such weird things into it. I can tell by your eyes and the fire and venom that you did not feel the same.
Okay, so I'll get to me gripes.
Here we go.
So all of the kind of genres of people kind of made sense on a TV show. You've got the host, Agony Aunt, sort of Essex Girls Doing Money. Was there another one? Whatever. But what there ain't is like Camden Goths giving you party advice. Like, I don't know in what like realm anyone would expect that to be good.
The representation of goths on is absolutely unbearable.
And then my other thing as well.
Tell us your other thing.
No one else had to deal with the kind of shenanigans that they were throwing at Ginny Lemon. Like, everyone else just got to do their thing. Like you're like throwing shit at her and you're expecting her to hold it together. So yeah, I just felt like Sister, Veronica and Ginny just already at an unfair advantage before anything had even happened.
Again, I'll just take what's left. Like, when has that ever worked out for anyone? Like, unless you are literally at the forefront of the competition, and then you would still be like, okay, I'm still going to try and go for the best thing because I want to win this. Like, I just can't stand this like faux sort of like, well, I think I'll just take the scraps because I'm so good.
Well, yeah, I don't think it was like that. It was just, she was kind of like, I can do anything, so whatever's left. But what I thought was weird is like, wasn't Sister also very quiet at the doling out of rats as well? It's like, you can't just sit around and wait for the last roll because look what happens. True.
And then on the walk around, we have RuPaul Charles himself come round and he is talking to everyone. I love that whenever they find out their parts, they always go straight to the wigs as if that's the important part. It's like the first thing was that Veronica Green putting on that, what I imagine she thought was a Betty Page fringe wig. I don't know. It was black, so therefore goth.
I mean, them's is the rules, to be fair. I just couldn't believe that they said the word gothy so much. And with no shout out to the UK's pork chop Ms. Gothy Kendall. How dare you?
I've got a question that needs answering. Why was Ginny Australian?
Like what? Bit confusing. We'll never understand that.
I don't know. Maybe are there hippies in Australia? I thought she was South African at first.
South African. Did you love her yellow crimp, which was very reminiscent of the first crimp that we ever sold that had no shape, no texture?
Well, yeah, it gave me PTSD.
Yeah. I put Sister is so analytical, and I think that will be her downfall. I feel like she can't just let go and have fun.
So maybe she is the Cracker.
I feel like, well, no, because Cracker had fun on the runway. Cracker had fun, like it's very self flagellating.
Seeing Ginny and Veronica both very optimistic about the improv is just sort of big mistake, huge. Like, never ever be confident in anything if you don't want it to like slap you in the face.
It's not even about being confident, I don't think. It's just like, don't feel cocksure. I think that's the big mistake of just being like, no, do you know what this is something I really excel at. It's like, not in these parameters and not with that writing, honey. I was absolutely obsessed with this entire sort of 45-second segment between Ellie and Rue. It was so fantastic. I don't know what she was trying to achieve by it, but that went it.
I called it, Is There Something on My Face 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, we all knew what she was trying to say. It's like, we get it. You're obsessed with Lawrence, but I'm Scottish too, so have fun with my name, let's just be unbiased.
But Rue gave a very nuanced, complex, queer elder read and was like, having seen what you've done in the competition, I think you need to make people more interested in you. Yeah. Basically being like, it's because you're boring.
If you're actually going to speak without being spoken, I'll fucking put you in your place.
And I just love as well that up until that point, Ellie just looks so terrified. Like, she always seems very scared when Rue comes over. And I just thought that whole moment was absolutely fantastic. Ellie Diamond really hitting me with all of my favourite strange moments in this competition. So far.
And another cracking shot at Ahura trying to be nice. And just a good chance to get to know her and find out why she's so basic.
Yeah.
She can't help herself.
I put that Tia really seemed like they were working overtime with Rue, and I found it a bit exhausting. I found that she was a bit like trying to...
teacher's pet kind of thing.
Yeah, just felt like it felt a bit forced. And because we do look to her like for the comic relief, I do think that she's funny. I just thought that, chill out, girl. Like, you are funny. You're always cracking us up in the interviews. So I just thought when Rue came over, I was like, I hope Rue doesn't think that she's actually, that it kind of erases how Rue feels about her and goes, oh, she's a bit beggy. They rely so heavily on Essex tropes, isn't it? It's just, I absolutely love it on this programme.
Maybe it's because that's something that the rest of the world can understand.
Sure. I suppose Towie maybe is global at this point.
Bloody should be.
Shout out to Amy Childs.
Oh, babe, give me a kiss.
We as
original
well, when we are wigging, have Towie on probably for about 8 hours a day. So we're in this world, we're living it. And...
Listen, highbrow art is highbrow art. Argue with your mum. And then we head into the studio for the filming of Morning Glory with the Queen of Daytime TV, ?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
You better put some respect on Alison Hammond's name.
Even Holly Willoughby.
Lorraine Kelly.
Honestly.
Jesus Christ, what was Bruce Forsyth busy?
But Jodie's got to go home.
Is Bruce Forsyth dead?
I don't know.
Because he definitely is busy. Literally, like, oh my, is that the best they could find? Lorraine Kelly. I'm sorry, when her opening line of being like, I would see a glory hole, but that would be bad. It's like, oh, honey. No laughter. That was so embarrassing.
Yeah. Zero idea on where they plucked her from, or like,
and her link to drag, her link to contemporary culture,
like Philip Schofield literally came out as a gay recently.
Alison Hammond,
a gay.
A gay.
Oh, you mean the gays?
Alison Hammond is a walking meme. Like 90% of British memes are about Alison. Like, at least, like, I'm willing to bet there's people that don't even know who Lorraine Kelly is. Like,
yeah,
I don't know anything about her. I'd never watched morning TV. Like, it just seems way off-piste for me. So how do you think you'd do on live television? I think you'd be absolutely fantastic for breakfast TV.
I think I'd be all right. I don't understand when people ever have problems with the teleprompter, because I always think I would be good at that.
How was it an improv challenge with a teleprompter and they were showing that their lines are up there?
I guess they just had to deliver those words, but then improv the like weird like slut shot thing.
I guess maybe that was the first time that they were seeing the lines.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. But just strange that they had a script for an improv challenge. But I guess, what did you think of Bimini and Tace?
I thought Bimini looked so cute.
So soft.
Lovely little nose highlight on the gal.
Just the face was she looked very like the female gremlin. Just very soft and delicate.
I just felt a bit weird, though, that it's meant to be morning TV, but yet they're kind of... like the other one called like Good Morning Bitches. It's like, is this a daytime TV thing, or are we just...
breakfast TV, I believe.
Oh, even worse then.
It was a bit too adult for you.
Well, yeah, it's just like, what is the premise? Like, what are the...
Just some girls having a lovely
parameters for
time.
this challenge? Like, if they say that Ginny does bad because she doesn't get the weather out, but yet they're they're not acting like how a TV host.
I mean, there
would
was
in The
some
Breakfast.
very, very confusing parameters of who was doing their job well and who was not. I absolutely screamed when Taste was like Willem Schofield. It was like, he is a new member to our team, and you can't even be bothered to get. How does as a queer elder, you think that make him feel?
A quelder.
A quelder. We need to address the elephant in the room.
Why Ellie Diamond was dressed like a haunted doll.
Very Annabelle. That was not the. It was just that was an insult to goth around the world, and I was not here for it. And also, as well, I'm sorry to say this again, but Veronica, how can you be unfunny and also boring? Pick a struggle. You can't be both. I kind
of got what she was going for with the kind of
the nonchalant.
Everything sucks. Whatever. What am I doing here?
But
still.
you're in drag in a daytime TV show. I never understand.
Well, that's why I don't want to blame the gals too much, because what the hell did they expect these girls to
improv.
do? But still, it's how are you going to improv a Camden? I'm doing inverted commas. Camden goth on a breakfast TV show telling you about a birthday party. That there was never going to be a winner here.
Okay, I hate to give such an obvious reference for goth, but think about how Sharon Needles would have done that. Not that we support Sharon Needles because they are deeply problematic. But when they did that infomercial challenge and Fifi was be goth, they were high energy, they were full of character. They didn't just it's such a lame and obvious choice to be we're goths, we're gonna speak like this. Bring comedy to it. Bring literally anything to it. It was just I thought it was so poor.
Now just feeling very triggered about Fifi and her very outrageous chola look as someone from no Mexican or even Latinx heritage.
Really?
Yeah, I've double checked. I've looked. It's highly
I thought you were
offensive.
gatekeeping Latin culture then. I was wow, okay.
Well,
on this pod.
Did you see Bimini's calves?
I did not, but I imagine
through those fishnets.
But we're going to put a photo up on the Insta, I imagine.
Yeah.
Find a lovely image of when Sister said that Lawrence was giving Michelle McManus. I thought that reference is niche, but boy, is it fantastic.
We'll put a picture of her up on it.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. After all this time, Ellie was just there.
Yeah, what the hell was the deal with what were they called, dragony nieces? Why did they jump out from behind the sofa? It's not Mystic Meg, your agony aunt. Why are you trying to why are you trying to be scary? And that whole thing was just an absolute mess to me. We'll get to it in the judging, but I thought it was just.
I thought again though, I know you're not here for Lawrence, I don't think, but I thought Lawrence she has the timeless talent of she's just fucking funny on stage. She's like Alyssa, not in the same realm as Alyssa, but the drag persona that she's created is funny. She just has to open her mouth and people laugh and they're engaged, and that's not something you can teach. But every time she's on stage, everyone is cracking up, and there's just something about her. It's because I think it's a mixture of her accent and how ballsy she is with her choices. There's a lot of confidence behind how she speaks in drag, I think, which makes you laugh.
Makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just was like a weird Ellie Diamond infomercial. And then, I don't know why, when she was painting the smiley face on, she started up under Lawrence's eye and then sort of did a weird red eye. Where are you going with this, Edie? This is your chance to get that palette.
I know.
Time.
And I really want her to be fantastic because I love the face.
I was just not convinced about that.
You're not, are you? But I tell you one thing that I know you're going to be convinced about. The Essex girls.
This is the only one that I even smirked at, and I more than smirked. I was out loud laughing, slapping my thigh. The way she said super glue, it was just so good.
And
the voice.
But again, I was really surprised. Tia, just very in the background. I really thought she'd come into her own. I thought Ahora's voice was fantastic. There was another layer to it. That she was just a bit, but she couldn't talk properly.
I think maybe because it's meant to be, she's got so much filler in that she can't. Yeah. When I had my lip filler in, I could feel it stopping me from talking.
Have you had surgery before?
Only on my face and body.
Have you been touched by an angel? I loved the tan detail as well to see on her suit, just on the inside of the lapels. There was so much tan. But I thought Tia was good as well. She didn't keep up, unfortunately. I think because it was, like you said, because it was improv, I think she just didn't know how hard Ahura was going to go. And then she just, she dog walked her a bit, didn't she? She didn't really
I think there can never be two funny ones. Someone's got to be the, pardon my French, straight man.
Do you think you're the straight man? Because you're not the funny one.
Oh, God.
I've never seen such thing as two pretty best friends. And that's coming from the pretty best friend.
I thought Ginny started off good, but like from when they if they're going to just start trying to put her off, why? Like if they don't care about the narrative, why should she?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought.
The thing is that really confuses me about this entire challenge is it was improv, but it can't have been improv that they were chucking things at her. She must have known that they were going to soak her, that they were going to be throwing all of these things at her. I imagine that for some of them, it's completely improv and they're not given anything and they're just, right, you'll stand here, you'll be a goth, you'll talk about this or whatever. But then clearly for Ginny, like they must have given her some warning about what was going to happen. And so it just seemed so unfair because the chaos of the scene was given to her. She didn't create the chaos. She didn't ask to have all this shit thrown at her and to be standing in a paddling pool. Were you into the very Rumplestiltskin glam that she was serving as well? Absolutely mental.
Rumplestiltskin?
Yeah, it's just like that mental wig and then the captain, just like the whole, when it first...
I see him as very different, as a
you?
little man on his
his
spinning
loom.
wheel. No, I don't imagine him in a caftan sucking on
It was
Himalayan
more
rocks.
it was more just the wild, like that crimp with absolutely no shape, just like literally like a pyramid, just like straight out. I think it was because it's like corn.
Yeah, maybe. When I think of Rumpelstiltskin, I think of Robert Carlyle, who plays him in Once Upon a Time. So really not the Ginny.
Very different references. I just said Ginny. It was so bizarre, but. When you're coming to a Ginny Lemon show, what are you expecting? I'm not going to be expecting her doing a quick two-step to a Carly Rae Jepsen song. That's what I'm going to want. I'm going to want her standing in a paddling pool having liquids thrown at her.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. It was absolutely fucking mental. How did you feel about Sister blaming Veronica for it going badly?
I get what she was saying. Like if someone is being weird and awkward and also doing the thing that you never do, which is...
You're very from the school though, like if you can blame someone, blame them.
Not necessarily, but I think if your partner is out here being like, oh, you shouldn't have said that to me, or like making it obvious.
Off.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? And that would like throw me. And then, it was obviously like if sister could have pulled herself out of it, but that didn't really help. I would say it's 35% Veronica.
Oh, okay. She's going fractions.
Yeah.
Is that a fraction?
It's percentage.
Okay, she's going percentage.
I can't do the fraction on that.
Okay, she's going percentage. And then it cut straight to Lawrence saying, how many times is sister gonna fucking blame someone else for being shite? And I thought, ouch.
But when else did she do that?
I don't know, but like I said, Lawrence says things and people believe it.
Have you got a moment to discuss your follicle challenges?
Is your patience receding quicker than your hairline?
Is your inner light being dimmed by the reflection coming off your shiny bonds?
Hi, this is noted trichologist Dr. Evans, PhD from the University of Hair and Shit. In my extensive knowledge in the hair field, I have found that the most effective way to combat stressful hair loss is custom lace front wigs from Truffle Pig Wigs. They've been providing custom wigs worldwide for over 18 months. And Truffle Pig Wigs can help give you the courage to finally look in the mirror and say, I am enough.
Use code Cliffhangers for 15% off.
That's code Cliffhangers for 15% off.
Side effects may include starting new friends, a lust for life, a hitch in your giddy up, secret admirers, a new love of cooking, a certain je ne sais quoi, effervescence, stuff.
It has come to that part again where we shout out another one of our favourite drag businesses, and this week it is Dragged Out London. They are an ever-expanding independent drag store for handmade jewellery, lashes and makeup, and they are based with us here in London. You've seen loads of their stuff on our Season 2 Sisters, and also recently on Her Royal Highness Michelle Visage. Dragged Out are the #1 place for gorgeous drag jewels. The new arena drop earrings are stunning, and they are being eaten up across the internet. And also the lashes are well worth checking out. So head over to @DraggedOutLondon on Insta and go show them some love.
It's Elimination Day.
We are back.
Weirdly, I noticed again that Tia is still supporting Tace at the shoulders. Do they think they make her stand there because she's tall? But surely the tallie should
That's
sit
exactly
down.
what I thought. No, exactly what I thought. I thought maybe for the lovely levels, they're like, Tia, you always need to be standing.
And there was like, you're basic, you don't deserve a chair.
Oh, my first thing was saying, Sister is having a tough time with that shaving. That was more painful to watch than the mini challenge. Oh, That was, I couldn't believe it. Going in dry. I just thought,
Would you dry shave your face?
absolutely never.
No.
I thought, you don't love yourself. Not with that razor.
Tearing it up.
I know, it looks so painful. One thing that is just blowing my mind this season is their lack of confidence. It's what I find really interesting is it like really separates in the girls, I think, whose drag character is like an extension of themselves, like someone like Tace who uses their own name and is clearly like Tace, the drag artist, like really lives within Tace as like a male, like in their male
human.
like in their male presenting form, like at their male present,
Like
the
a Pokemon.
male presenting form. And then there's a lot of girls this season who clearly their drag character is like a complete escape from their what they're like in real life.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so sad to see. I mean, it's incredible that they find them, but it was just so sad to see with Sister. That just again, like real open wounds there.
Yeah, well, they always say, like, not always, but a lot of comedians are like depressed, aren't they? So I think it's a lot of.
Yeah,
it happens
laughter
in the biz.
is medicine. It does, truly. And I really hated that for her. And I really feel like they've found a real emo bunch this season, which is.
Well, I think the most important thing is that getting the girls to cry and telling a heartbreak story.
100%. Like, you've got 45
you have to make
seconds.
sure that the cast are damaged.
Show us your trauma.
Yeah.
But I really thought at this mirror moment, you saw that like there is such a kindness to Ahura. Like regardless of the exterior, she can be icy, sure, but like deep down, she's really, really kind.
Well, she kind of explained why that is, isn't she?
And again, strange that she speaks about Ahura as a secondary person. She's like, when Ahura's with me, I never feel alone. It was like that she like clearly Ahura for her is like something that exists outside of her. Like it's not like an extension of George.
Well, she says it's everything that she's not, that she wants to be, isn't it?
It felt like a healing moment, and you don't get them that much on. It's normally like, right, like tell us about your trauma, and like mid while they're like running on stage and stuff. And it felt like she was getting to like properly talk about it and sit down and think about these things on a world stage. Terrifying nonetheless.
We are now making our way to the main stage, and the runway this week is Monster Mashup. I was very excited to do any kind of like Halloween-y.
I was going to say, we
monster-y
should
one.
probably say me and Luki are horror fanatics. We take Halloween very seriously here. So this is very exciting for us.
My first thought was, RuPaul, congrats on the gall and the gumption, but I don't think those shoulders match those hips.
No. What you should be worried about. No, the wig though really just offset it all for me. I thought that was, I love her in that white hair, like hair in platinum hair is really nice.
Yeah,
but yeah,
or that lovely ginge that she wears sometimes.
Yeah. I can't believe that they wheeled out Lorraine Kelly in Debenham's finest. Like literally, you are on a drag show. They're just about to come
Like
down
Julian
the
McDonald
runway.
or something.
Just about to come down the runway, and you're dressed like Jess Glynn outside of Sexy Fish. Like, what was that? Literally, just like the most. It was just so awful.
Michelle looking gorgeous as per. Probably not even a point bringing it up.
No,
She's just
I mean, I think it's safe to say at this point that you'd think that Michelle is gorgeous.
yeah. You heard it here first.
Monster
I'm saying it.
Monster Mashup. What would you do?
Oh, I actually really should have thought of this in advance, shouldn't
Should
I?
have.
I'm two on the.
Maybe you could do you as you wake up and you before you go to bed.
Maybe just gorgeous and gorgeous. I'd probably be told to take that wig off, to be honest.
Probably. I also did not think about this at all, but like I will say that for Monster Mashup, I would love it to be really fucking gory. I need Dragula for this. Like,
I think maybe I would want the one half to be really, really overly gross, and then the other half to
Kind of
be
gorge.
something like funny.
yeah.
So it's just like a very weird mashup.
like in House of a Thousand Corpses, the fish boy.
I can't remember.
Oh my god, a fantastic! They would like wheel out this boy and he's on a platter, and they've like sewn his bottom half to like the like a trout.
Oh,
So he's like, just got a lovely sort of like fish bottom, and they call him Fish Boy. I would definitely want to go. I've got a real affinity at the moment in the world of horror to sort of like strange gill reptilian creatures. Yeah, I'd want to do something with gills, something absolutely repulsive, webbed fingers. Kind of reminiscent of, I was very into Aquaria's disgusting sort of like mermaid the oil slick mermaid creature.
that was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was fantastic, wasn't it?
Maybe something based off of like a classic freak.
Yeah. Well, I did see that Joe Black was going to do Nosferatu, which is absolutely fucking
I've always wanted
fantastic.
to do that bald with just like the giant fangs.
Yeah. So good with like the huge long fingers as well.
That's the good
a
thing about,
hunchback.
sorry to interrupt, but that's so good about Drag Race these days is that even when people are eliminated, you still get to see what their looks
Yeah, I
would have
love
been.
it. Shout out to April Carrion for starting that. She was one of the original gals
God, I
for
love her
saying
so much.
April Carrion. Yeah, absolutely love her. Okay, so first up on the runway, we have Ms. Veronica Green.
She's given us Medusa Pig mashup. I was actually pretty impressed, to be
Really?
fair. Like
I
for
was
her,
like,
I didn't
not
think
at
that she would
all.
go that far with like full on like prosthetics and stuff. I thought she'd be a lot more vanillas than that. So I was quite surprised.
I just thought it was a really confusing way to start what the monster mashup was, because I just thought they didn't go together at all. Like
You do get it's a mashup though, right?
yeah, but like be smart about it. Like have two things that marry well together. Like
Oh no, I think it should be like, yeah, like I was saying, I would want something really gross and something really funny. So it's just like very strange. I'd want mine to be like a weird mashup.
But you know, they've done this on Dragula, like the mashup of the two creatures. Like it's and I just thought the pig was nowhere apart from the nose. And then
she did all this. The skin was meant to be like pigs, like pig skin.
I wasn't featuring it. I didn't get it. Maybe, to be fair, I'm like deadly scared of snakes. So maybe I just was never going to like anything. Maybe I was never going to like anything with a snake in.
Windy pops.
Maybe. I said pretty impressive. To be fair, she went ham. Pardon the pun.
Oh, yeah.
7 truffles.
7.
Yeah, I felt like that.
You don't
so
explain
a lot of
yourself to
effort
me, not
went
on this
into
pod.
it. And she made the dress and the weird crown thing. No, not the
Okay.
Medusa head. There's sort of like a crown on top.
Maybe it's because she was first. I gave her 5. I didn't get it at all.
Sure.
And then next up we have Sister serving Pharaoh Fawcett.
Getting bummed by a wolf.
Yeah.
In her own words.
I thought the padding was very nice on this. She was really serving you curvy gal.
I just wrote sis, that teeny tiny flaccid little ponytail. Are you absolutely joking?
That was a hot contender for my minger of the week for the wigs. But I thought it didn't actually count as a wig because there was 11 fibers of hair in
Looked
it.
like a little Barbie ponytail.
There wasn't really enough there for me to go crazy about it, and have gone really crazy about her looks in the past. But I would have given that a comfortable 6. There just wasn't much.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.5. I really liked how she's like blended out the purple eyeshadow, and I really liked her movement, but it wasn't very orig.
She did sell the costume for me, and I
Sell
thought
the
the
garment.
lip, sell the garment, and I thought the lip was gorgeous, and I wonder whether that's Miss Fame, that gorgeous blue iridescent lip that everyone wears.
Surely that's just her blue glitter that she uses for the circle mouth every time.
And next up, we had Bimini Bumpolish serving Pamela Manderson.
I just wrote right up my street. All the things I like.
That's exactly what I thought. First of all, you got your Buffy reference with the prosthetic brow.
And that's one you've been wanting to do for a long time, isn't it?
You've got, but remember that I'm glad. The thing that would hold me back from it, especially doing it on Drag Race, is Crystal did it. Do you remember when she did her weird angle grinder pussy cutting moment?
Yeah.
She's already done it, so at least she painted it red, which was a smart choice. Obviously, Pamela Anderson, Playboy references, the mental hair as well. We'll get into that when they critique the hair.
I gave it 8 truffles. Could have been more extreme and detailed, but loved it.
I gave her 8 truffles, and my only takeaway was I would have loved it if she double stacked the hair, just so that the hair was like huge, like more cartoonish.
Yeah.
Just because I thought it didn't bother me at all, but like I thought it would have been even better if the hair was like mental.
Yeah, just like giant, ridiculous.
Just fantastic. And next up, we have our Lord and Saviour Tace.
Bride of Vampenstein. So what can I say? She looked gorgeous, of course, but it was a bit standard. So I gave her 6 truffles.
It was really serving me sort of just like the hottest girl in school taking a pass at a Halloween costume.
Like Legs Avenue, just like a sexy guy. Like, want to still be pretty, but I'll give you Halloween.
But also, what was the mashup? Bride of Frankenstein with what?
Bride of Vampenstein. She had vampire teeth in.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, tenuous. Tenuous at best. I thought she sold it. I thought she gave you that lovely... who is it that comes down the runway in the finale and swishes the dress around and sits down?
Oh, I want to say like Nisha Lopez or something. But
Nisha Lopez. Yeah. Someone like that comes down and just like does a lovely sort of sit down It's very very pageanty. I thought, like you said, just echoing all of that. That was a lovely wig chapel as well. That wig, which I think a lot of not all, but a lot of her wigs are. I thought it was overall it did the job. I would have given it 7.
But what will you give it?
I will give it 7.
Okay.
I will give it 7.
So next, Ms. Ginny giving you toxic, bitter, viral lemon.
Bitter lemon giving you biohazard kaftan. I loved it.
Where is the mashup? Is what I was thinking.
Absolutely, it made no sense. It wasn't a monster.
No.
There was no mashup. Really holding everyone else to a completely different standard to I Dream of Ginny here, but I don't care.
Well, I gave her
Fight
4.
me. You gave her 4.
Yeah, I couldn't see a mashup.
Is that your lowest?
No, I gave her a 2 last week.
Always low for Ginster.
Give me a sewing challenge and I'll give you what you like.
I loved it. She needs to send them jelly shoes a cease and desist because
She's got microfibralgia or spur.
I know, but the jelly shoes aren't. I'd rather she came down in a flat. She could just come down in a lovely orthopedic shoe or something.
Just one of the legs chunkier than the other.
Yeah.
I imagine that the gel has got a kind of nice bit of
a bit of bounce to it.
Something,
oh, okay. I mean,
like when chefs wear like clogs.
Yeah. I mean, safety
day.
first. All I care about is keeping our dear sweet Ginster safe. But I do think it was. I think it was like old Teeth. What's his name? Alan Carr pointed out. Just maybe not black.
Yeah.
Imagine it really popped with a nice bright yellow.
I know she's got them.
Yeah,
Well.
you know it.
She wanted to tie in the whole biohazard logo. I get it.
100%. I did really like. I rarely like Michelle's comments on the runway, but I did really like. Does anyone still wear a hazmat?
Yeah.
I thought that was great. So how much? Oh, you gave Ginster
Quattro.
I will give her 6.
Okay.
Just because I love her and I don't care.
That is fine.
Yeah. Now, next up, we have Lawrence Cheney.
He's given us Sweeney Todd. He's given us Bride of Frankenstein. He's given us Silence of the Lambs. He went for the triple.
I have thoughts.
Okay, go on then.
I wasn't here for it.
You have one thought.
I have one thought, and that is it for this month. I just thought it was all a bit unclear. I thought the face was well painted. I thought she looked. I mean, it was nothing new. It wasn't like an exciting face, but I thought of all the things, her face looked okay. And I did like the sort of Gucci-esque head hanging off the arm. I just didn't think it did anything.
When she turned the corner, I was like, okay, there you go. There's someone who has put together an outfit properly.
Sure. It's well
very
constructed.
into the Ed Gein. I believe that is the pronunciation. Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Just like body parts, skin apron. I thought that was
yeah.
sick. Yes, would be very into some kind of weird.
But where was the
skin
monster
people.
mashup?
So Silence of the Lambs.
That's not a monster. I mean, sure, a psychological monster. I just thought I thought it was like not.
And then she's Bride of Frankenstein. She had the face of that. She had like.
She's Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes, she had the wig, same wig as Tace, which she did herself. Maybe better. I don't know. I didn't say anything.
Okay, I didn't catch any of these references.
On her like jawline, she had all like stitches and stuff for Frankenstein.
Oh, I thought she just drawn. I thought just because she was a larger queen, she was sort of trying to contour on her.
Oh no,
chin.
like the face, yeah, she had like really good like stitches. I thought and quite like good placement as
Oh my God,
well.
are you now a Lawrence Cheney stan? Look
No,
at you
I'm
riding
just
hard
doing
for
the
her.
work and reviewing the show.
Listen, I'm doing the work. I just didn't get any of these references. This is not
You've
what
seen it 3 times.
I know. This is not what I saw though. Like, and if they're not that clear, then they're not that clear.
She had all like the blood splatters, which was the Sweeney Todd on her.
I mean, a reach.
That was a reach. That was like the third
Blood
one.
is Sweeney
But I
Todd.
definitely got the Silence of the Lambs meets Bride of Frankenstein.
Sure.
Yeah, and I gave her 8.
What?
Oh, just bug off!
Oh my God. I would have gone 6. No, 6, 7. I don't
And what
do.
will you go?
I will go.
Oh, the tension.
The tension. I will go 7. I absolutely loved with Lawrence when Rue went, "What is it you can't face?" Do you know what the reference is?
No.
Oh my God. So there was this whole thing that was going around because in The Sound of Music, Mother Superior says to Maria, she goes, "What is it you can't face?" But the way that she says it is everyone hears, "What is it, cunt face?" So like, what is it, you cunt face? And it was just, I thought it was a really fucking fun, because it was a viral moment. It's just very strange to think of Rue on the interwebs.
She's got earpieces on, don't you worry about
Truly.
it. I'm sure she's dial-up on a Nokia.
She actually has no idea where the reference is from or what it is. She's just like... And then we move on to the diamond that shines oh so bright. It's Miss Ellie. What did you think?
Well, she said she's given us goblin/werewolf, but then she later went on to say her dad's a troll and her mum is a beast. So mixed messages, mixed medium. First thing I thought was when they made the joke about Michelle was like, I hope this one is a prosthetic nose. Like, Lorraine, why are you laughing? You don't get the joke. You ain't in on it.
I'm willing to bet she's never seen Drag Race before.
No.
She's like, oh, this man that dresses up as a woman wants me to come be on the show. Like,
she just Googled gay and seen glory hole and thought, that'll do.
Yeah,
that'll do, pig.
She just asked Philip Schofield. She was like, is there something for the gays?
But moving on to Ellie Diamond, I did notice it's the return of the peekaboo puss.
Oh, love. And I absolutely loved the face, obviously. That is just, it's like you talking about Michelle just every single week. It's like, what a face.
I couldn't get over her face. Just like,
gorgeous.
Just the sort of like subtle blending and just like the little like freckles and stuff. Did you ever have the book Fungus the Bogeyman?
Did I have Fungus the Bogeyman? I love that's like one of my number one favourite children's books.
I really
Yeah.
love it. But yeah, it's giving me very like Fungus's girlfriend. I thought, the
absolutely.
makeup was like Shrek on the main stage in the West End somewhere.
Oh, lovely. 70s Shrek glam. The one thing I did put, though, is I felt like it was very strange construction on the garment.
Well, I'm not a fan of the peekaboo puss. We've
You're
said
not.
that before. I didn't like the outfit.
I just thought that, like, the construction of it, like, was she wearing sort of, like, brown fun fur chaps?
Yeah.
So, like, for whomst? For why?
Not very practical for your bogeyman.
It just seemed like a lot of convoluted ideas. I love how we've now decided that because we thought it was Fungus, that she was a bogeyman. That was her monster.
Well, she doesn't even know what she was.
But I did love the narration. She went hard on that narration and she was just chatting.
Yeah.
Much like this podcast.
I gave her a 6 for the makeup.
I gave her a 7.
I mean, no, I would have rated her higher just for the makeup alone.
But what did you rate her?
Well, I rated her a 6 because the makeup brought it up. Otherwise, clothes alone, it could have been like a 4 or a 5.
Okay. And then straight on through to Ms. Tea or Coffee.
The question doth still remain.
Truly, I just put the first thing is this. Every single costume she does gives me such intense LARP energy. Just like, she always just looks like sort of like someone that is getting dressed up to go to a convention.
So yeah, she was giving us Medusa /skeleton /voodoo priestess.
I mean...
Again, I gave her, I guess because I have low bar for people like her and Veronica, so I was impressed with the makeup.
I put the best thing yet, but the bar is the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I gave her like a 6, I guess. I might actually review that and give it a 5.
Yeah.
It was just very
I just thought as well, like, a very obvious mashup, but I just thought, like, how are you going to do a skeleton face and not even do that well? Like, that is not makeup. That is face paint, honey. That is just like you can just trace a skull from a picture onto your face. Like, I think personally, especially on the runway, if you're doing face paint as opposed to like, there was no carving of the face, there was no like eye detail. So if you're going to do that, at least make the face paint good, because otherwise, like that, I really feel like she could have done that face in 6 minutes. So I just think, like, where is the detail? Because if someone else has made that costume, what are you bringing to the runway? Audacity is what you're bringing to the runway. So I went 5 on that, but I could go lower. I could go lower. And then next up we have It's a Horror. We should probably say at this point that we did the wig for this.
I was literally screaming my head off.
It's really strange, isn't it? I thought it was going to be exciting, but then I thought it's a really bizarre feeling to have like contributed. I mean, obviously we're not taking any credit for it, but just contributed in any tiny way to an outfit that you think is good. Because even aside from if we hadn't done that wig, it was definitely my number one. I really loved the look, and especially with like the neck and the waist corset from Misty Couture, which is like obviously just like, just like so. Like all of Misty's work, like all of that corsetry is so sublime. Go check out Misty Couture if you don't know. Yeah, I just thought that there were so many elements to it that were so fucking fantastic. So to just have contributed that and to such a beloved queen is just, that was very special.
I thought it's hilarious though. Like this couldn't have happened to anyone else. So literally she's in our wig for like 3 seconds and then it comes off and literally everyone's like, oh, thank God she took that wig off.
We are currently working on a bitch track that is just clips of them being like, thank God you took that wig off. Thank God you took that's going to be our new sort of like sales pitch. Like,
but we were actually, because obviously we knew that we had a wig, maybe others, who knows, coming up on the show. We were hoping that we were going to get some amazing soundbite of RuPaul or someone just being like,
wig
what
is
the
trash.
hell is that disgusting wig? And that would literally be like the slogan on all of our merch.
Yeah, there is no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah,
and especially if it's coming from one of the judges. Ideally, it would have been bad, to be honest. Because we knew the whole sort of narrative of the outfit when she ordered, but we knew it was going to come off. But it was just so fucking jokes that all of the judges were just like, it was Alan Carr that was just like, oh, when you took that wig off, I thought, thank God.
I can't say.
So love that. Hopefully, if we do have any other wigs on the rest of the season, hopefully they stay on. To me, I thought that was the only look really that had sort of like progression, and I liked that it had that big reveal. It was smart, and that to me was a proper mashup.
So what did you give it?
I gave it 9.
Oh, I gave it a 10.
That's a 10.
I would have given it a 10, but I didn't want to because I thought it seemed a bit cringe coming, considering that we did the wig.
I don't give a fuck. That's why I'm giving it a 10.
Oh, okay, I'll give it a 10 too. 10's all round.
10 for the gals.
Yeah, it was absolutely fucking fantastic. And shout out to Ahura Angel. So then we head on to the critiques as the tops and bottoms are revealed.
Yes, so the safe queens are Tace, Ellie and Tia, and they are off backstage for some untucking.
So yeah, how did you feel about the critiques and what was said?
Well, first I just wish that Sister's earrings were facing the right way.
Oh.
I hate that so much when you see someone's wearing like a hoop earring or something and it's like sideways. Like, why will no one tell them to twist their
Yeah,
hair
innit? Lorraine Kelly, no gay ally. She could have just pointed it out. She's on the telly. I am really starting to lose my fucking patience with Bimini looks too unpolished and rough around the edges. Like, shut up. It's just, I'm sorry, I just don't think it's a valid critique. What you're talking about is that she doesn't serve polished pageant-y drag in the way that you like. And sometimes I think that these judges, like, because Alan Carr is not from a drag background, and then Michelle and Rue are from the American drag background, I think that they had a really fucking great chance to put someone on the judging panel like Jodie Harsh, for example, who is free and willing and ready to go on. Like, someone who had a real understanding of like London drag and how it's just like not about that. Like, it's about performance and it's about like conceptual looks that maybe have like more of a fashion eye than like a polished like pageant-y eye. And I just like, it really pisses me off every week because I think if there's one person that's consistently serving like great looks, it's Bimini. So for her to be like called like rough around the edges is just bullshit.
I don't know, like there could have been a bit more like dimensions on the face and on the prosthetic. Like you said with Tia, I felt like it was very flat red with black.
Dare you compare her to Tia's makeup? Tia's makeup was done in less than 10 minutes. She had a prosthetic on, like 50% of her face was taken up by a prosthetic that she had put on her face. Like
Yeah, but she didn't like, there was no like shading in the creases. It was just like, that's painted block red and then there's black lines on it. Like it could have been taken up a few notches, but she was in the top. They just have to give her critique, didn't they? Like,
yeah, sure. And them saying that you like it was just like the critiques that they did give, being like, oh, like you lose the eye under. She's got like a prosthetic brow on. Like it doesn't have to be her being like, oh, you need to put eyelashes on. It's like it doesn't need to be a glam monster. Like Tia didn't have eyelashes on.
But so here I'm playing the devil playboy advocate.
Oh my god, please play the straight man advocate. See, you are the straight man.
She's a Playboy bunny. Playboy bunnies would have lashes on, but actually, as we know, they're now called cum umbrellas, as found out this week.
God, tell us a bit of queer history.
I don't know if it's queer. Thank you very much. Trying to claim everything, but a lovely prostitute.
Wow! Did everyone hear that?
Something.
Did all the queer ears hear that? Nasty. Say it. I was shouting over it. Queer
In
noise.
18 something or so, a prostitute invented false eyelashes to prevent the semen from falling into her eyes, coining the phrase cum umbrellas. So she wasn't wearing cum umbrellas, no. She could have been.
I don't know. And she
has since worn them on her photo shoot that she post
Sure,
on Insta.
sure,
I'm
sure.
sure she's like, yeah, I probably could have worn a lash.
I just think as well, as someone that constantly complains about this, yes, I'm looking at you, Luki, as someone that constantly complains about this in a photo shoot, that the wig is pulling down your eyelashes, that prosthetic brow, I don't think they would have been able to fit eyelashes in there. I think they would have had them weird sort of like sad panda eyes because the eyelashes would have been pushed down.
Well, she managed to deal with that fine in the photo shoot that I just spoke about, didn't she? I felt they were overly harsh on Ginny Lemon.
Do you think? In what
Just-
bit did you think was overly harsh?
Well, just basically them saying that she was a mess and she didn't do the weather reporting. She was a mess because you were fucking chucking shit at her.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
care
100%.
that Lawrence and Ellie did a really half-hearted agony aunt thing. It just turned into a makeup demo. Like, you don't care about that, but yeah, she's got like two things going against her and you're kicking her while she's down.
Yeah, and I didn't think that, considering the mess that Veronica and Sister brought to the studio, like, I didn't think that Ginny's was even comparable. Ginny's was weird, but like, what are
These
you
was
expecting?
entertaining.
Yeah. It was
Theirs
funny.
was just like, boop.
Just one level, yeah. It was so boring. I put the audacity must be on sale at the critique that they gave to Ahura. I was foaming at the mouth, saying that like she looks too glam. It's like she's got contacts in, she's got her brain exposed, she's got like horror makeup on, but then you're standing next to Lawrence, who is literally just like in glam.
Yeah.
Like Lawrence, I'm sorry, like Lawrence was literally just dressed up as like a matron and they'd stuck like that face on a couple of ears. Nothing about her look, apart from some Smithy's blood splattered on her, really gave me like...
I mean, the blood was rhinestoned. It was stoned.
Did you stone their blood? I just thought
Am
it was...
I stoned?
Yeah. There's such inconsistency in the judging. I mean, it's a cuss to Lawrence, really. You're basically saying because she looks gorgeous, she doesn't look spooky enough. But it's like, Lawrence doesn't look spooky at all. There's no monster in what Lawrence has brought to the runway. So it was just really annoying me because I just feel like if there's one thing I can't take, it's when it's not fair.
Yeah. It's really annoying me
So
how
baby.
obvious RuPaul is bumming Lawrence. And if you are maybe not familiar with that term, I don't mean to causing
gay
scandals
bumming.
that they are having anal sex. I mean that RuPaul is just fucking licking her ass, sucking up, obsessed.
I just think, I just found it annoying because I just think like, and this is in no way tearing down what Lawrence did because I'm not saying that Lawrence's was shit at all, but it's just like, it just seems so often that in their critique, it's just one rule for one person. It's like they don't have anything to say, so they just try and come up with something and it's one rule for one person, one rule for another. So I don't know. I was getting pissed off at the critiques with Ahura. I mean, pissed off, that's very strong. And then we head over to Untucked, which, the heart do break. My poor Ginny Lemon. Considering that she did that challenge and she thought, this is my one. I do improvisational comedy. I'm going to do well at this. And they were like, nah, that was shit. That she's like, well, it's only going to get worse from here.
I was very obsessed with Tace's little lisp that she had from those teeth. Now, that is the vulnerability that we are looking for. I'm
Look,
sure.
she's like a real person. Look at her, her speech impediment.
I thought it was quite interesting that so the three of them backstage, like, who do you think will go home? And they all said Veronica, but they
Yeah.
only ever said one person. They all sitting on the fence to say who else would be in the bottom. They just sort of bypassed that and were like, Veronica's in the bottom.
Well, what I love to know is that they didn't say like who will be lip syncing. They said who will go home, which
Well,
seems
yeah.
like you're bypassing a whole part of the show.
Yeah, like doesn't matter who you're against because they're
Yeah,
going to beat
she's
you.
the worst. Yeah, which is why I think she got super hot, didn't she?
I would though.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course she would.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Veronica's had it up to here.
Yeah. What about when Sister was like, Veronica's Drag Race, it's dead boring. True. But yeah, she really... Do you know one thing I really wasn't here for? Let me tell you one thing I wasn't here for.
Tell me.
When Ahura tried to step in with, again, trying to be nice, but people ain't here for it really, are they? Trying to step in and then she was like, actually, do you know what? Like, I think I'll just do what it is I've been doing because it's really been working for me. And she was like, wow, I was really trying to help you because everyone's coming for you. Like...
Won't bother with that again.
Yeah. But I'm kind of glad this whole thing did happen because it meant I didn't have to deal with any more Ginny Lemon heartbreak. She was just sat in the corner, just so sad the whole time. And I was like, okay, we're focusing on something else. That's
It's such a
good.
shame to see the gals down, isn't it?
I know. But this fight or flight moment from when like other people are coming for you and you clearly feel vulnerable is like, it really shows your true colours. We've got to watch out for that because that's the moment when people like Alaska or something like, you're like, ooh, wow,
Oh,
she doesn't take
she's
this
unhinged.
well. Yeah. So that's a real... and I really thought that Ahura again was really showing, she was really heartfelt and really soft in this moment. She was really trying to help the girls because I think maybe that came from the confidence of being safe and feeling like she might win maybe. And then we head back onto the stage to find out the winner.
Very rude. I mean, really feeling for Miguel Ahura. I thought that was obvious in the bag.
There has been a robbery.
I was gagged and gooped that Veronica was safe.
Oh
she
my God.
hot-stepped it down that runway so fast, like she thought they might change their mind.
Yeah, I mean, you would, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? I can't believe that Lawrence won. It, like, the situation that transpires meant that this decision was made for us, but, like, I was really feeling super scared because because Veronica wasn't in the bottom, that could have been two of our favourites. And Veronica staying after that shit show, it's too scary. And it's getting to the point now where it's just like, really, it's leaving some good girls. And I'm just so scared that one of my front runners is going to go, and then I'm going to be throwing hands.
One of your front runners has gone.
I know.
Cast your mind back to old Valentino.
Oh, I know. Miss you, Cherry. Yeah, and I was annoyed that Lawrence won, if I'm honest, because I really thought that Hora had it in the bag. And I just thought she really served fantastic outfit in her. So
Yeah, I really thought the two goths should have been in the bottom together.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's head on to this lip sync, Luki.
I think Tay said it best when she was like, well, Ginny's bended a creme herself.
My favourite thing about the whole lip sync is just the smile on Ginny's face. Like when she sort of like did her high priestess moment and just like lifted her hands up in the air, head back. And then when her head came down, she was just like beaming. And she was just like, when she was like, look, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. It's punk. And that's me. And I was literally in my head, I was like, do it, do it.
Yeah, it must have been like very like freeing to just be like,
Yeah.
and a fuck you show.
And the demonic laugh that she let out as she left. She was like, I need you to tell me. We haven't actually spoken about this properly, so I need you to tell me, Luki, what are your thoughts on Ginny Lemon walking?
Ginny Lem gone. I watched it twice. The first time, we had some secret squirrels tell us that she was going to walk at some point. But I didn't think it was going to be at this point, weirdly. So even though I was expecting it, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be later on as well.
Yeah. After the second watch, I kind of thought, do you know what? If Ginny's at peace with how she left and she feels like good about everything that went down, and it means that sister's here to fight another day. Like if the gals are happy, I'm happy. I think.
Yeah. That's exactly how I feel. We're kind of, because of the high stakes and dramatic nature of it, we're really fed this narrative that, like, if anyone, what Ben de la Creme did was like incredibly disrespectful, and how dare someone take up a place in Drag Race and then leave of their own volition, which I just think is fucking bullshit, because it's a TV show and it's literally people dressing up and walking down a 10-foot piece of stage. Like, it's so ridiculous. And yeah, I'm just totally with you. Like, Ginny it was fun until it was no longer fun, and then she wanted to go, and she didn't want to be put in a situation where she possibly took out. I feel like Ginny could have really pulled a fantastic lip sync out of the bag, and she might have kicked Sister off. And Sister, I don't think there were other people that were more deserving to be in the bottom. So maybe she's like, do you know what? In this situation, if you're in the bottom and you don't deserve to be, I'm sure as hell not going to be the one that gives you the boot out. And
especially like we've just seen, well, they very craftily showed us with editing and production that those two have formed a very, very close bond. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to have to be up against you. If I can take one for the team and then we both are happy with the result, then why wouldn't I?
And it's so interesting, isn't it? Because it just takes the power away from the whole show. That's what I find. Like, we uphold, people uphold RuPaul as this deity, as this godlike figure. And actually, like, it reminds you that the queens really do have the power in this whole situation. Like, Ginny made a decision about her fate in the competition and went. And it's like, it makes it all seem a bit silly after someone does that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it really takes the kind of like high stakes out of it. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's a game show. You're not even winning 100k here.
Yeah, it's literally. And then what I find so funny about it is then, like, so often with these lip syncs, I'm like digging my own nails into my skin, being like, oh my God, this is so tense. What is going to happen? And then because Ginny had gone, like, Sister fighting for her place just seemed so ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? It was like, again, like, there's no stakes here. Like, so like a grown man throwing themselves around the floor, like, to try and stay. All of that just seems so comedic, because it was like, oh, you're fine. They've actually just left. They've grabbed their shit and they've gone. So it just seems.
I really liked how like
ridiculous.
Michelle and everyone Like, because obviously, like, if you're doing the lip sync, you're meant to be battling, and then someone walks out, you would be fucking like thrown. So for Michelle and everyone to be like singing along and like hyping her up, I thought that was so good.
Banger of a song as well.
Yeah, and I thought like she must have had a moment in her mind when it went from shit, what's going on, to like, oh my God, I've got a unique chance to just like showcase me, and everyone's like, all those judges are looking at only me for this 3.5 minutes. Like, you fucking like make the most of that.
Do you think she did showcase herself well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There was something so like frenetic and like masculine. She was, rather than like punk, she was like, she reminded me of someone at like a gig, just like going fucking hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked her kind of weird mummy zombie movement.
Yeah, and like she really went around. Oh my God, I saw a tweet that was like, wow, sister moving about this stage more than Dua Lipa in lockdown. But yeah, I really liked how she like used all of the stage, and she just like, she obviously, I saw her tweet that she was like, I actually didn't realise that Ginny had walked until about halfway through. And then you can kind of see that once she realises she's on her own, she's like, right, I've got to like commandeer this entire performance area. And then she just goes ham. And I liked that. And I just love when it cut to Ginny, like afterwards. She don't give a shit.
All I care about is that the gals are happy.
Yeah. And everyone did seem, there was like a real like when it was kept on cutting to the girls at the back, there seemed like a real like collective sort of like, it wasn't sad. It wasn't a sad moment. They were like, wow, Ginny's gone. Like, Ginny was unhappy and she's gone. And
Good for you.
Yeah. And just like Taste being like, obviously Taste and Ginny are friends, just being like, wow, like Ginny's just done it. She's gone.
Yeah, toodles.
One thing that we should point out, all of the bullshit about Ginny Lemon sticking her finger up and swearing at RuPaul, telling him to fuck off and leaving, that was floating around in the press, is completely fabricated. It was just done.
Well, yeah, because watching it, it doesn't seem like there would be any chance for that to happen. I've assumed that someone along the way has been like, wow, she really told RuPaul to fuck off with her actions, and then that's got misconstrued as she sat there and went, RuPaul, swivel on this.
Yeah, I think it was just to help press for the show, to be honest. I think that it seemed respectful, it seemed chill. Like she said, she was like, I'm doing this for no one but me. Like, I just thought it wasn't that moment at all. So to try and sell it as like it's just such a boring trope to try and sell like bitchy drag queen saying fuck off. Like, get over it. She was just like, I'm no longer happy here. I'm going to exit. And it was just, and it was a moment, and it was real. That was TV. Come on. On the BBC.
That was TV, yes.
It was TV.
Next week, it's Corona time.
Corona time. I absolutely crying that they just made coronavirus look like a mini challenge. They're like, oh, now we're going to... It was just so funny, wasn't it? Apparently there's an episode of like what they did when they get home. Like showing the remaining girls in lockdown, apparently.
God, talk about a filler episode.
Yeah.
This is me just going
sitting at
to
home.
the shop.
Yeah, making some banana bread. So, Miss Luki Luck, can we talk about season 3 Dreamcast?
My season 3 Dreamcast of the week would be Sminty Drop. I don't know if that is their full name or just the Instagram handle. Maybe it's just Sminty. But she is House of Kendall. All those Manchester gals, they just look so gorgeous. They've all just got the super snatch faces, ridiculous hair, teeny tiny little waists, and I love them all. Go on Instagram and look at Sminty Drop, and that face will literally make you want to kill yourself in a good way.
Yeah, for sure. My season 3 Dreamcast is the drag ghoul and dark DJ herself. It is our girl, Minxie. Now, Minxie is a professional goth.
I am a professional
Goth. And just absolutely love her aesthetic. Everything she does is so polished. She is a Truffle Pigs girl. She's
at OnlyFans as well, so go and give her some money.
Yes, please. Now go and support the motherfucking girls. And yeah, love her drag, very exquisite and such a good painter. Her face is always immaculate.
That eyeliner is sharp as you like.
Oh, immaculate. So yeah, would love to see. I'm not sure she'd love to be on Drag Race, to be honest, but
I'm not sure they'd have her, to be honest.
Just love to see them on a world platform. Okay, let's talk Rose and Thorn of the week. Okay, I'm going to go for my rose first. My rose was the softening of Ahura, and that then leading on to the friendship with Tia. I just thought it was so nice. Like, she obviously has been painted as a bit of a villain, and she's like very outspoken. The northern accent it can be very cutting, and I just really loved that.
I've earned my diva shit.
100%. And my thorn was the goth bit. Listen, as someone who was a hardened goth through their youth, I just don't like to see our community represented that way. I felt it was disrespectful.
Yes, I agree. That was also my thought.
Your thought as well.
Yeah.
As a
So like, in what world would that have worked? Like they were just setting them up for a fail just to like have some weird link in for no reason. My rose was that our fucking wig was on the telly, bitch.
yeah, that was very cute for us. That was our first Drag Race UK wig. So that was a real moment for us. We've only been going 18 months, so that's a nice little. Oh, that was a little humble brag, wasn't it? Only been going 18 months. And then our final segment of Cliffhangers, we're going to talk wigs, the zinger and the minger. What was your zinger of the week?
It was our wig that was on the telly.
No, I didn't want to. Obviously, that was the true zinger. But I went two different ones. I really, really liked Ellie's main stage wig, just like the sort of like triple stack brown and the lovely chocolate brown. And then I also loved Tace's Morning Glory, which I believe is a Stephen Austin sort of human hair, purple pink number. Just thought that as them colours on that face. Come on. And then what was your minger of the week?
It was a hardcore tie between the pathetic
ponytail
and the flashbacks of one of our first yellow cribs that we did. Just both of them left me very uneasy.
Oh, luckily they've been deleted from the internet, so there's
Archive,
no visual.
baby.
Maybe we'll pop that on the we'll pop that on the marquee on the Insta. My minger was Lawrence's Michelle McManus weird, strange, like bob hair. It was just like, I feel like maybe she rustled that up in the
sorry,
and
and just to go back again, they're talking about her outfit. Like, who's wearing a sequin asymmetric like gown on breakfast TV?
Michelle McManus.
No, she'd be wearing a lovely long-sleeved t-shirt and some jeans.
Jeans and a nice top.
Finally, one of our listeners has actually messaged in for said shout out. So hold tight, Maggie, inside the ride. Thanks for listening, chick. Sorry, I hate chicks so much. Thanks for listening, babe. And again, please, we are sick of the sight of each other and sick of each other's opinions. If you've got anything to say that you can add, please let us know, or just more shout outs.
And also thanks for the lovely reviews on the podcast as well. We've had a lot of really nice reviews on Apple Podcasts. So if you're listening in and you're liking it, if you don't like it, then keep it to yourself. But if you are liking it, then head over to Apple Podcasts and give us a review. Join the legions of fans. And I think that's all we've got time for this week. Yep. So we'll see you next week.